Mediocre Murad wakes up every day based on vibes. He makes all his decisions on how he feels, or today I feel like taking a day off. He doesn't realize that making these bad choices will drastically reduce his input. Meanwhile, Exceptional Imran views himself like a business. He knows that eating certain foods and doing certain things will reduce his work production, and so he avoids things that will reduce his work rate. Assalamu alaikum my people, my name's Pablo, and I help young Muslim men become productive. You see, over the last 11 months, alhamdulillah, I've been able to consistently upload every day on various social media platforms. And as a result, I've picked up many productivity tactics along the way. If you want to transform your life and become an exceptional Imran, check out my coaching program. Link in the description below. Most people, I'd say around 95% of the population, will make decisions based on their emotions. Today I feel like eating junk food. Today I feel like scrolling on my phone. Today I feel like being lazy. They'll make all these decisions based on how they feel. And so what happens? People become lazy, ill-disciplined, unmotivated. And so most of my life I was exactly like this. I would make every decision based on how I felt. So in the UK, after you finish secondary school at the age of 16, you either go to college or sixth form. And so you basically study for another 2 years on only 3 or 4 subjects. So it essentially preps you for university. And so you get these 3 periods where you can do whatever you want. Chill, study, anything you want. And so at the time, me and my good friend, we had a lot of free periods together. And so sometimes we decided, you know what, let's study together, because we had homework to do or a test to do. And basically what we would do is leave the class, go to the canteen, and I would get a cookie or something else that was sweet, and then after that would search for a place to work. Do you really think I was able to produce good quality work after eating that rubbish? Do you really think my input was that high after eating those simple carbs? You see, the thing is, I'll do this all the time. Eat a cookie, brownie, whatever the case may be, it would always be some junk food. I'd always make decisions based on how I feel. Today I feel like eating junk food. Today I feel like eating that sugary drink. And you know what would happen? I'd reap the consequences later. You see, this also happened in university, There were many times where I was like, you know what? Let me go out and get food, come back and do work. I'd be getting KFC, GDK, burger, thinking that after I eat, I'll do work. I really thought after putting that junk food in my system, I can sit down and work. I can concentrate on the task at hand, my dissertation, my essays, my source analysis. But then what would happen? I'd find it hard to concentrate. It would be a struggle to sit down and focus. It felt like an uphill battle to sit down and work on that assignment. Even when I began a quote-unquote self-improvement journey back in May 2023, I would live on vibes. Like, I'll try to eat clean, but then one day I'll be like, you know what? Let me have a cheat day. Sometimes I'll be like, you know what? Let me try to sit down and do work. Other times I'll be like, you know what? Forget that. I want to scroll on my phone and waste time. I used to think it would be normal to sit down and experience brain fog when you're trying to do work. And it wasn't until I started a second phase of self-improvement in October 2023 that belief was destroyed. So around mid-August time, I entered a rut. I was eating junk food. I was waking up late every day. I was making no progress towards my goal. And then one day I was like, you know what? Something needs to change. I can't keep living like this, where I was lazy, ill-disciplined, fat. I was living that total mediocre Murad lifestyle. And I was deluding myself into thinking I'm on some self-improvement journey. So one day I began waking up early. I was like, you know what? After Fajr, I'll wake up, pray, and then work. And you see, after implementing this habit, everything in my life changed. I began to view everything like a business would. Alright, will this decision bring me benefit or not? I began to think, alright, if I go to this motive or this event, I'll come back late and I'll be sleep deprived, which means my work production the following day will be drastically reduced. I also began to think, if I check my phone or eat something, it will negatively impact my concentration. And so I began to make these conscious decisions. If I do this, I'll have brain fog. It will make me slower. I'll find it harder to concentrate. You see, this is the exact mentality you need to adopt. You need to view yourself like a business. So for example, you need to realize that if you eat that junk food, your production rate will decrease. You will do less work because your glucose levels spiked and then decreased. You have just negatively impacted your production by 50% by one small decision. It could have been the case where you done more work, but because you ate that junk food, you done less than what you were supposed to do. Or if you check your phone first thing in the morning, you know that you'll find it harder to sit down and concentrate. You'll have all this brain fog. You'll be much slower when you're writing that YouTube script or working on your business. And so by adopting this mentality, you'll become way more productive. Because if you're always thinking, will this decision positively or negatively impact my work rate, you will less likely follow through with the bad decisions, the bad choices. You'll be more calculated with your daily decisions, where you'll decide, you know what, I'll only do things that benefit me, rather than being a detriment. You'll think, alright, in the short term, it'll bring me pleasure, but in the long term, it'll negatively impact my work, my business, my social media page. And the thing is, it's imperative, especially in those early stages when you're the business. Because when you first start, you most likely have no employees. You have to do everything. As when you first start, you don't have the capabilities to outsource some of that work. So you do 100% of all the tasks. Let's say, for example, you need to write the scripts, then edit it, then record it, then upload it, then do the thumbnail. You have to do everything in those early stages. You are responsible for everything. And so what you don't want to do is go and have that cake or that KFC or check your phone. Think about it. A CEO has hundreds of employees under his leadership. He won't make decisions based on his own whims. He won't make those bad choices which will negatively impact the revenue and the profits. And so of course he's going to make the best decision for his company, which won't affect their input. And so you need to do the same, especially when you're in the early stages of your entrepreneurial journey, because any bad decision you make will drastically reduce your input. Because at the end of the day, you're not the only person who wants all these things: the cars, the money, the house, the bin. When I tell you millions of other men want, they do want it. And so if you're in those early stages and your sleeping pattern is sporadic, you're eating junk food, you're always checking your phone, you will lose to the guy who's waking up early and just working. And the thing is, take it from me, you'll always regret the bad decisions, no matter what. In the moment, you might get that instant gratification, like with junk food, waking up late, whatever the case may be. However, when you go back to your work and realize your production has drastically reduced, you'll regret it straight away. You'll think, why did I do this? Why did I think it was a good idea? Because you'll then realize your work rate has drastically reduced due to one bad decision. At the end of the day, my bro, you have a choice to continue making those bad decisions that will negatively impact your production, or view yourself as a business whenever you're about to make a decision. Remember, productivity is the path to your dream life.